Welcome back to the channel Rare Coins Collections. Today, we have an exciting discovery for you, one that could turn a simple, everyday coin into an incredible treasure. We're talking about the 1981 United States 1-cent coin, often overlooked by casual collectors but capable of fetching a jaw-dropping value. You might just have one of these hidden gems in your own collection without even realizing it. So, get ready, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why this coin is so much more than just a penny. Let's start by diving into the history behind the 1981 1-cent coin. In 1981, the U.S. Mint produced millions of pennies to keep up with the high demand for circulating coins, as pennies are one of the most commonly used denominations in the U.S. economy. The 1981 penny was struck during an era of high inflation, when the price of goods and services was rising rapidly. Despite this, the design on the coin remained largely unchanged, keeping the famous image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the classic wheat ears on the reverse. This familiar design has been in place since 1909, making the penny one of the most iconic and enduring pieces of American currency. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the 1981 1-cent coin so special? Well, it's not just about the design or the history. It's about the mint mark. If you take a close look at your 1981 penny, you'll notice a small letter beneath the date. This mint mark indicates where the coin was produced. For most 1981 pennies, the mint mark is either D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. But here's the catch: there's a rare variety of the 1981 penny that can make collectors do a double take. Some of the 1981 pennies were minted with what's called a double die error, and this is where things get really interesting. A double die error happens during the minting process when the design is accidentally struck into the coin more than once, resulting in a blurry or doubled appearance of the letters and numbers. These errors are rare and can make a coin significantly more valuable, especially when the doubling is clear and noticeable. The 1981 1-cent coin with this double die error is highly sought after by collectors and can command an impressive price on the market. So, what exactly is the value of a 1981 1-cent coin with a double die error? While most of these pennies may only be worth their face value, just 1 cent, if you happen to have one of the rare, error-struck pennies, it could fetch a price far beyond what you might expect. Depending on the severity and clarity of the doubling, the coin's value can vary. However, a perfectly preserved 1981 penny with a prominent double die error has been known to sell for as much as $28,000 in some cases. That's right, $28,000. Imagine that, a simple penny worth more than a car, or even a house in some parts of the country. But how can you spot this rare coin and determine if it's the one that could bring you thousands of dollars? Well, the key is to carefully examine the coin. Look closely at the date and lettering on the obverse of the penny. The double die error usually appears in the numbers of the date or the inscriptions like "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." If the letters or numbers appear to be doubled or blurry, you might just have a valuable error coin on your hands. Now, not every 1981 penny is going to be worth thousands of dollars, of course. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. Coins that are well preserved and in excellent condition are far more likely to fetch a higher price. A penny that's worn, scratched, or damaged will not be worth as much, even if it has a double die error. Collectors prefer coins in mint condition, so the better your coin looks, the higher its potential value, but even without an error, the 1981 penny can still hold some value. Collectors of specific years and mints often seek out coins from particular years as part of completing their sets. The 1981 penny might not be as rare as some other coins, but it still holds significance, especially for those who focus on specific types of coinage from the 1980s. Let's talk about other factors that could increase the value of your 1981 penny. If your coin happens to be from a special minting, such as a proof or uncirculated coin, it could also carry a premium. Proof coins, which are struck with extra care for collectors, can be far more valuable than those that are minted for general circulation. Uncirculated coins, which have never been used in transactions and retain their original shine, can also command a higher price. So, whether it's an error coin, a well-preserved specimen, or one of the rarer types. The 1981 1-cent coin is far from just a simple penny. It's a piece of history that could be worth a lot more than its face value. To wrap things up, if you happen to find a 1981 penny that's in exceptional condition, or one with a double die error, you might want to get it appraised by a professional. The right coin could be worth a small fortune, and you wouldn't want to miss out on a potentially life-changing discovery. In conclusion, never underestimate the power of the humble penny. You just never know when you might stumble upon one of these rare, error-struck treasures. So, next time you're going through your coin collection or checking change, take a moment to carefully examine each penny, especially the 1981 one. It could turn out to be worth far more than you ever imagined. Today, we have something incredibly exciting to talk about, a coin that's been hiding in plain sight for decades, possibly in your very own collection. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1974 United States 1-cent coin. You might think of it as just another penny, but trust me, this little coin can be worth much more than you might expect. Stick around as we uncover the hidden potential of the 1974 penny and explore how it could be worth a jaw-dropping amount of money. The 1974 1-cent coin, much like its counterparts from other years, was produced during a time when pennies were in high circulation. In 1974, the U.S. Mint was still working under the same familiar design that has adorned the penny for over 100 years, Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic wheat ears on the reverse. These classic designs have become synonymous with American currency, and even though the penny's role in the economy has diminished over time, it's still a coin that holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. But here's the twist: while most 1974 pennies you come across will be worth just 1 cent, there are certain rare versions of this coin that can fetch a stunning amount of money. If you're a collector, you may already know that some years and mint marks are much rarer than others. For the 1974 penny, it's all about the mint mark, the condition of the coin, and a few other unique factors that could elevate its value to astronomical heights. Before we dive into the specifics of what makes a 1974 penny rare and valuable, let's first talk about the minting process for this year. The U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies in 1974, with two primary mint marks being used, the D Mint mark for the Denver Mint and the S Mint mark for the San Francisco Mint. Typically, coins minted in Denver were used for circulation, while those produced in San Francisco were struck as proof coins, meant for collectors. However, it's not just the mint mark that makes this coin so intriguing, it's the possibility of finding a rare error in the minting process. The 1974 penny, in particular, is known for a very specific type of error that could significantly boost its value: the 1974 double die penny. A double die error occurs when the design on the coin is struck multiple times during the minting process, causing the letters and numbers to appear blurry or even doubled. In the case of the 1974 penny, this doubling can be found in the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," as well as in the date itself. So why is this error so valuable? Well, double die pennies are incredibly rare, and they appeal to collectors looking for unique and unusual coins to add to their collections. The 1974 double die penny is one of the most sought-after varieties among error coin enthusiasts. The more pronounced and visible the doubling, the more valuable the coin becomes. The rarity of these coins, combined with the increasing interest in collecting error coins, makes the 1974 double die penny a prized possession that can be worth a small fortune. But don't be fooled, just because a penny has some doubling doesn't automatically mean it's worth thousands. The value of a 1974 double die penny depends on the extent of the error, the overall condition of the coin, and the demand among collectors at any given time. A coin in poor condition or one with only slight doubling may not fetch as much as a coin with significant, clearly visible doubling. That's why it's so important to carefully inspect each coin and evaluate its potential value. One key factor that can dramatically increase the value of any coin, including the 1974 penny, is its condition. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that have been preserved in pristine or near-perfect condition. A coin that has been kept in excellent shape, without scratches, stains, or signs of heavy wear, can fetch a significantly higher price than one that has been used extensively in circulation. For rarer coins like the 1974 double-die penny, this is especially important. The more well-preserved the coin is, the more valuable it becomes to collectors who are looking to complete their sets with high-quality examples. Another thing to consider when evaluating the worth of your 1974 penny is whether it has been graded by a professional coin grading service. A coin's grade can make a huge difference in its value. Coins that are graded as MS-65 or higher, meaning they are in mint state with minimal imperfections, will be worth much more than coins with lower grades. A professional grading service can help you determine the exact value of your 1974 penny based on its condition and any errors it may have, but here's the big question: what could a 1974 1-cent coin, especially one with a double die error, actually be worth? While most 1974 pennies are worth just 1 cent, those with the double die error have been known to sell for incredible amounts at auctions and among collectors. If you happen to have one of these rare error coins in pristine condition, you could be looking at a potential value of up to $29,000, that's right, $29,000. A single 1974 penny, with the right error and in excellent condition, could be worth that much or even more, depending on market demand. So, before you dismiss that old jar of pennies sitting on your shelf, take a moment to examine the 1974 coins you have. A single coin could be worth far more than you ever imagined, and with a little luck, you could be holding a true treasure. To wrap up, the 1974 United States 1-cent coin is more than just a penny. It's a potential goldmine for collectors who know what to look for. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting to build your collection, it's worth taking the time to inspect your 1974 pennies for any signs of rare errors, especially the famous double die variety. If you find one, make sure to get it appraised by a professional. You could be sitting on a valuable piece of history. Today, we have a fascinating topic to dive into, one that could turn a simple penny from your collection into a valuable treasure. We're talking about the 1976 United States 1-cent coin, a coin that might just be sitting in your spare change jar right now, waiting to surprise you with its potential worth. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll understand why this particular penny could be worth far more than you ever imagined. At first glance, the 1976 penny might seem like just another standard coin from the 1970s, but there's more to it than meets the eye. The 1976 1-cent coin was minted during a historic time for the United States. It was the country's bicentennial year, and celebrations were in full swing to mark 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. While the bicentennial quarter and half dollar received much of the attention for their special designs, the 1976 penny still holds a unique place in the hearts of collectors, especially when you consider a few rare variations and minting errors that make it stand out from the crowd. Now, let's talk about the design of the 1976 penny. Like most pennies, the 1976 1-cent coin features the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. Lincoln's portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner, has been the standard on the penny since 1909, making it one of the most recognizable coin designs in American history. The reverse side of the 1976 penny, however, is where things get interesting. Most of the 1976 pennies feature the classic wheat ears design on the reverse, which had been in use since 1909 and was replaced later in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial design. However, in 1976, the U.S. Mint made a special change to mark the bicentennial. They issued a special edition of the penny, but the design stayed relatively unchanged, with the typical Lincoln Memorial still adorning the reverse. While it was a common design, there were subtle variations in the minting process that would make this penny stand out in the world of collectors. The key factor that makes the 1976 penny potentially valuable is the rarity of certain mint marks and special errors that occurred during production. If you take a close look at your 1976 penny, you'll notice a small mint mark located right under the year. This mint mark tells you where the coin was produced, either at the Denver Mint or the Philadelphia Mint. The Denver Mint used the D mint mark, while the Philadelphia Mint typically didn't use a mint mark, but in some cases, coins from Philadelphia may have the P mint mark as well. Now, what makes this coin even more exciting for collectors is the possibility of finding a rare error coin among the 1976 pennies. The most well-known and sought-after error associated with the 1976 penny is the double die error. This error occurs when the coin is struck multiple times during the minting process, causing the design to appear doubled or blurry. In the case of the 1976 penny, this doubling can be most noticeable in the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." The double die error is highly prized because it represents a unique, one-of-a-kind flaw that can make the coin far more valuable than its face value. But, of course, not every 1976 penny is a rare error coin, and not all of them are worth a fortune. The key to determining whether your 1976 penny is valuable comes down to a few important factors: the mint mark, the presence of any noticeable errors, and, most importantly, the condition of the coin. Coins that are well preserved and in near-perfect condition are worth significantly more than those that have been heavily circulated and show signs of wear. For example, if you happen to find a 1976 penny with clear doubling on the "Liberty" or "In God We Trust," especially one in uncirculated or mint condition, you could be sitting on a rare coin worth a lot more than its face value. The better the condition, the higher the potential price. Collectors of error coins are always on the lookout for coins in pristine condition, so a well-preserved 1976 double die penny could fetch a significant amount. However, it's not just about the error itself. Professional coin grading plays a huge role in determining the value of a coin. A coin that is graded highly, such as MS-65 or higher, is likely to be worth much more than one with a lower grade. Coin grading services evaluate the coin's appearance, including its sharpness, the quality of the strike, and the overall preservation of the coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes, so if you find a high-quality 1976 penny with the right error, it could be worth a fortune. As for the value of a rare 1976 penny with the double die error, if you're lucky enough to have one in excellent condition, the price could be staggering. While most 1976 pennies are worth only 1 cent, a well-preserved coin with a double die error can be valued much higher. Collectors have been known to pay astronomical prices for such error coins, and depending on the condition and the market, a single 1976 penny could be worth as much as $30,000. Yes, you heard that right, $30,000. That's the potential value of a rare, error-struck 1976 penny, and it could be sitting right in your collection. So, before you toss that jar of pennies aside, take the time to carefully examine each one, especially those from 1976. A single coin might just hold the key to a substantial financial windfall. In conclusion, the 1976 United States 1-cent coin may seem like just another penny, but it holds hidden potential for collectors who know what to look for. Whether it's a rare double die error, an uncirculated specimen, or simply a coin in excellent condition, this little penny could end up being a lot more valuable than you think. So, next time you come across a 1976 penny, take a closer look. You could be holding a coin worth thousands of dollars. Today, we've got a real gem to talk about, the 1991 United States 1-cent coin. While most of us have probably seen thousands of pennies from this year, what if I told you that one of these small coins could be worth a small fortune? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll learn how a single 1991 penny might be worth an incredible amount of money. When you think about the 1991 1-cent coin, you might just picture a typical Lincoln Memorial penny, right? It's a design that has been part of U.S. currency since 1959 and has been a familiar sight in everyday transactions for decades. The obverse features the timeless portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, and on the reverse, we find the iconic Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of American heritage and history. But here's the twist: while the 1991 penny may seem like a standard piece of currency, it has the potential to fetch an incredible amount of money, if you know what to look for. To understand what makes the 1991 penny so valuable, we first need to look at the history of the coin. The early 1990s were a time of transition for the United States economy. The country was emerging from the economic turmoil of the 1980s and was preparing for the challenges and opportunities of the 1990s. The minting process was still producing billions of pennies each year, including the 1991 1-cent coin, which was part of the regular circulation series. However, even though the 1991 penny was minted in large quantities, there were a few key factors that made some of these coins rare and valuable. One of the main reasons the 1991 penny stands out is due to its minting process and certain unique errors that occurred. Minting errors are a collector's dream because they create one-of-a-kind coins that are often much more valuable than their standard counterparts. In the case of the 1991 penny, there are a few distinct varieties and mistakes that can drastically increase the coin's value. If you're lucky enough to have one of these rare pennies, you could be holding something worth thousands of dollars. One of the most sought-after versions of the 1991 penny is the famous double die error. A double die coin occurs when the design is struck multiple times, causing the lettering, numbers, or images to appear doubled or distorted. In the case of the 1991 penny, this error is most commonly found in the inscriptions, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." The doubling on these coins can be subtle or quite pronounced, but the more noticeable and clear the doubling, the more valuable the coin becomes. The 1991 double die error is one of the most prized errors among collectors because it is relatively rare, and finding a well-preserved specimen can be challenging. When this type of error occurs, the coin becomes a unique piece of numismatic history, one that collectors will pay a premium for. Coins with noticeable doubling, especially those that show strong distortion in the design, can fetch a much higher price than their standard counterparts, but that's not all. The condition of the coin is just as important as the error itself. As with any collectible item, the better the condition, the higher the value. A 1991 penny with a double die error in pristine or near-perfect condition can be worth a small fortune. Coin collectors place a high premium on coins that have been well preserved, and the 1991 penny is no exception. If you've kept your pennies in excellent condition, you may be sitting on a valuable treasure. Another key factor to consider is the mint mark. The 1991 penny was minted in both Denver and Philadelphia, and the mint mark indicates where the coin was produced. If you're lucky enough to find a 1991 penny from the San Francisco Mint, you could have a proof coin on your hands, which is also a highly sought-after variant. Proof coins are specially minted for collectors and are typically in flawless condition, making them valuable for those looking to complete their collections. In addition to errors and minting variations, professional coin grading also plays a significant role in determining a coin's value. Coins that are graded highly by professional grading services are generally worth much more than those that are left ungraded or graded poorly. The grading system evaluates a coin's overall condition, including its sharpness, clarity, and absence of damage. A coin with a grade of MS 65 or higher can fetch significantly more than a coin with a lower grade. So, what kind of money can you expect from a rare, error-filled, high-grade 1991 penny? If you happen to have a 1991 penny with a strong double die error, in excellent condition, and professionally graded, you could be looking at an astonishing amount of money. While the typical 1991 penny is worth just 1 cent, a rare, high-quality 1991 penny with the double die error can be worth as much as $33,000. Yes, you heard me right, $33,000. Imagine finding a coin that's been hiding in your collection or loose change for all these years, only to discover that it could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. It's not as far-fetched as it sounds. Collectors are always on the lookout for rare and unique coins, and a 1991 penny with a double die error could make you a significant profit. Before you rush off to search through your coin collection, remember that the key to finding a valuable penny is paying attention to the details. Carefully examine the inscriptions on the coin to check for any signs of doubling. Look at the overall condition of the coin and consider whether it's been well preserved. If you find a 1991 penny that appears to be in mint condition and shows a noticeable doubling error, make sure to get it appraised by a professional coin dealer or grading service. In conclusion, the 1991 United States 1-cent coin may seem like just another penny at first, but with the right combination of factors, such as a double die error, excellent condition, and a high-grade rating, this coin could be worth a lot more than you ever expected. If you're a collector or just someone who enjoys going through their spare change, don't overlook your 1991 pennies. One of them could be worth $33,000, and who knows? You might just be sitting on a small fortune. Today, we're uncovering a gem from the United States Mint that many might not have noticed, the 1972 1-cent coin, also known as the 1972 Lincoln penny with a unique mint mark. You might think a penny is just a penny, but hold on tight, because this one is far from ordinary. Stick around to discover just how much this seemingly simple coin could be worth today. Let's first take a trip back to 1972, a year that was packed with history and significance. The United States, fresh off the excitement of the Apollo 11 moon landing and in the midst of political change, was still circulating the iconic copper penny. At that time, these coins were being produced by the billions, with the United States Mint using various mint marks to signify where they were made: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. However, the 1972 1-cent coin became quite special for a variety of reasons. You see, this penny was part of a transition in the minting process. Most pennies that year were struck with a normal design, but the real treasure comes in the form of a particular minting error that occurred, which has made this coin a true collector's item. Now, let's talk about the design. As with other Lincoln pennies, the 1972 1-cent coin features the profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse side, designed by Frank Gasparo, shows the famous Lincoln Memorial. These elements have become timeless, symbolizing the country's history and reverence for one of its most iconic presidents. But what makes the 1972 penny different from the rest? In short, it's all about the minting error that occurred at the Philadelphia Mint. Some 1972 pennies, particularly those with the D mint mark, were struck with a die that had already been used on previous coins. As a result, a portion of the coin's design was not properly struck, leading to a misalignment and an unusual appearance. The error was subtle, but noticeable to keen-eyed collectors. The result? A coin that would go on to become highly sought after in the numismatic world. While most 1972 pennies are worth just their face value, 1 cent, the ones with this distinctive error are an entirely different story. Coins with this particular flaw are incredibly rare and are known to fetch impressive prices, especially if they're in pristine condition. Coin collectors often look for these types of minting errors because they add unique value to a collection. In the world of rare coins, the more unique and pristine the condition, the higher the price. So, what kind of value are we talking about here? Well, in today's market, the value of a 1972 1-cent coin with this particular mint mark error can soar dramatically. If you happen to stumble upon one in excellent, uncirculated condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Coins that exhibit this rare error, especially in near-perfect form, have been known to fetch up to an impressive $33,000, yes, you heard that correctly, $33,000 for a single 1972 penny. A coin that originally cost just 1 cent could now be worth an extraordinary amount due to its rarity and the unique minting error that occurred all those years ago. It's truly incredible how a simple mistake during the minting process can turn a humble penny into a high-value treasure. This coin's value is largely driven by its rarity and the fact that very few survived in excellent condition. Over time, most of these coins were heavily circulated, worn down, and lost their value. But if you're lucky enough to find one that has been well preserved, especially one with a noticeable minting error, you could be holding on to an asset that has appreciated in value far beyond your wildest expectations. It's important to note that not all 1972 pennies will fetch such a high price. The coin's condition, the quality of the strike, and the presence of any additional errors will all play a major role in determining its value. So, if you come across a 1972 penny, it's worth taking a closer look. If it has a unique mint mark or error, you could be holding onto something far more valuable than you thought. In summary, the 1972 1-cent coin may seem like a common penny at first glance, but for collectors in the know, it's a hidden gem. Thanks to its minting error, this coin has become one of the most valuable pennies in modern American coinage. If you happen to own one, or even better, find one in pristine condition, you might just be in for a significant windfall. So, check your coin jars, take a second look at those pennies in your collection, and who knows, you might find a treasure worth $33,000. Thank you for tuning in today. We hope you learned something new about the value of the 1972 1-cent coin and how a small mistake in the minting process can lead to a big payoff. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another coin discovery. Until next time, happy collecting, and remember, your next treasure might just be hiding in plain sight.